Hello, and welcome to the Dallas Songwriters Association Songwriter Spotlight. I'm Barbe McMillen. Each month, we explore the songs and stories of an award-winning songwriter. I'm your host, and the man with the behind-the-scenes technical expertise is our director, Harry Hewlett. Thank you so much, Harry, for ramrodding our DSA talent onto our local stages and into this spotlight. Tonight, our spotlight is on Emmeline Miles, a pianist since the age of 4 and a songwriter since 11. Emmeline's studies in voice, piano, and music theory earned her a Bachelor of Arts degree in music, and she continued her studies to earn a PhD at SMU. Along the way, she has gained experience working as a music teacher and a content creator for various schools and companies. In 2020, she created her Journey of podcast series for the Deep Ellum Radio. Journey of a Song airs Thursday nights at 7 p.m. on the Deep Ellum Radio. And Journey of an Artist airs Sunday nights at 5 p.m. on Deep Ellum Radio. She also hosts the Journey of a Song Songwriter Showcase at the opening bell every third Thursday, which is archived on the Dallas Songwriters YouTube channel. Please welcome the very, very talented singer-songwriter and beautiful Emmeline Miles.
Thanks so much, Barb. That's a lot to live up to. But thanks for having me, and thanks for letting me be a part of all of the amazing things that DSA is doing. It's been a real gift to get to share the stage with so many songwriters on Thursday nights and to hear everyone's stories. And I love that you guys do what you do, showcasing songwriters in this Spotlight series. So I think if it's all right, I get to get started with a few songs.
Yeah, what do you got for us?
I figured I'd start with something a little bit uplifting. This is a love song about growing old together. I think there are a lot of love songs about all the pretty parts of love, but to me, the most beautiful thing about love in general, whether it's platonic love or romantic love, is getting to grow old with somebody. It's having someone who knows you and someone who you know well, and the song is about that. It's about the gift of getting to know somebody through all the stages of their life. It's called Still, and it goes like this. Actually, hold on. Just kidding.
In the key of capo?
In the key of capo. I actually originally wrote
that last night.
I almost wrote this initially in G, and then I was like, I don't think I like it in G, so here's a little behind the scenes for you. So I moved it to A, so here we are. I wanna be 85 with you, rocking chairs on creaking porches, knitting needles, angry nurses, and you laughing all the while. I wanna be 29 together, on the phone in stormy weather, plane delays and travel sweaters, and you still can make me smile. When we're old, we'll put our dentures in a jar beside the sink, and that place where that old mug with archy brushes used to be. And I'll laugh about the way you still look pretty without teeth, 'cause your shiny gums are perfect to me. And I don't know where life's gonna go, but I'll go along with you. And I don't know what the future holds, but I'll hold on to you. And when the mountains in the distance stand between us like a fence, I hope you know I'm still with you. I hope you know I'm still with you. You'll be with me at 47, 2 young kids and one more coming. Minivans, golden retrievers, we're statistics we won't mind. And since I'll be allergic to the grass, you'll mow the lawn, but I'll help you plant the trees that our 3 children can climb on. We'll balance on those branches and reach higher every dawn, because you make mornings beautiful to me. And I don't know where life's gonna go, but I'll go along with you. And I don't know what the future holds, distance stand between us like a fence. I hope you know I'm still with you. I hope you know I'm still with you. When I was 5, I drew a lover with my dreams. Had you nothing like the picture, but you feel like the real thing. So come on and be with me tomorrow. When I cry, just hold me closer. We've been broken, cracks still show, but we'll be fine. When you're in pieces, I can help you realign. Yeah, I can hold you while you heal, and we will be alright. 'Cause I don't know where life's gonna go, but I'll go along with you. And I don't know what the future holds, but I'll hold on to you. And when the mountains in the distance stand between us like a fence, I hope you know I'm still. 'Cause I don't know where life's gonna go, but I'll go along with you. And I don't know what the future holds, but I'll hold on to you. And when the mountains in the distance stand between us like a fence, I hope you know I'm still with you. I hope you know I'm still with you. I hope you know I'm still with you. There you go. Aw, thank you.
So what's the title of that song?
The song is called Still.
Still. So
Yeah.
when you first started writing it, did
Mhm.
you come up with a hook first, or how did it come about?
That's a great question. I have always been a songwriter who writes in lyrics and melodies first, I think. I mean, every song is different, but for me, I had this vision of this couple rocking chairs in a nursing home at like 85, blankets across their knees, and just thinking about the romance of, this is so silly, but I think different people have different images that they think of when they think of love. And for me, songs are about painting emotions as pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Creating an image that really captures, almost like a photograph, the intensity of a single emotion.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about that sensation that we have when we grow up with somebody, so we don't necessarily notice them growing older. Kind of like ourselves, we don't ever feel ourselves growing older. It's
Mhm.
just, you look at a picture of your super young self one day and you think, oh wow, things have changed.
That's
But I
right.
feel like that's not a process that we are aware of all the time. And I wanted to capture that. And the image that I had was twofold. I had that image of the rocking chairs, and I had this image of, a mug next to a sink with two
Mhm.
toothbrushes in it.
Mhm.
And kind of the mark of aging in this case was that mug being swapped out for a jar where dentures kind of share space.
Mhm.
And, I think so much of love is about sharing space. It's about sharing the space in your heart. It's about sharing the space in your house. Often it's about sharing the space in your day. And so the story kind of unfolded in that way. I was thinking about being 85 together, and I had a melody that went with those words. And some songs take a long time, but that song kind of tumbled out all at once. Just chronological order, one line at a time. I guess it's not really chronological because we go from 85 to 29 to 47. But yeah, that idea of sometimes life is a little bit achronological, but in this case, the song came one line to the end.
That's cool when they're a gift like that and you don't have to work so hard for it.
Isn't
But
it nice?
you've got a background in creative writing, so that
I don't
helps
know.
a lot in your songwriting, don't you think?
It's funny that you say that. I think what creative writing has given me is an appreciation for crafting a phrase and a much thicker skin than I think I would have had otherwise. The thing about going through school for creative writing is you have a lot of people critiquing your work and a lot of people telling you to throw things out or keep this. And I worked in radio for a really long time writing commercials. And, you know, a commercial, you only have 15 to 30 seconds to really make sure you have the meat of it. If it's a really long commercial, you have a minute. And I think a song is like that. You know, we're cutting the things that we don't need so we can paint the truest picture of that emotion. And I think that's how creative writing has helped me, is I've tried to be really judicious about what I keep. Because you only want to keep the essence of what you need. Because anything else is a distraction from putting the audience exactly where that picture is, where that feeling.
So it helped you in songwriting to write. How many years did you work at Radio Disney?
I worked at Radio Disney for 10 years.
10 years. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I started as an intern on the floor filing broadcast contracts.
Yeah. So just honing down the essence of the advertisement, you know, helped you in honing down the essence of the song, because we only have 3.5 minutes to tell a story, you know, so it works.
And as a kid, I would write these long poems, you know, that I would turn into songs, and there were so many words, and I look back on them now and I think, oh, I should have taken so much of this out.
It sounds like a
Nobody
rapper.
needed all these details. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. What do you got next for us? What's the next song title?
I was gonna go ahead and play you kind of a slower song, if that's all right.
Yes.
I think some people after a breakup write a breakup song. That seems like a normal progression because that's the emotion you're feeling. But you know, as a songwriter, I'm always striving to capture that picture. And as a human, I feel like I'm always striving to capture this ideal sometimes. And that can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing. But in this case, I had just gotten out of a relationship where it was clear that the person didn't really want me. They wanted their idea of me. And so I wrote this song about what it would be like to find someone who really wanted you. And it has a line in it. You asked me about creative writing in songs. This has a line in it that was inspired by a Toni Morrison novel. She talks about Paul D, who's one of the characters in Beloved, having a tobacco tin heart that was rusted shut. And I just loved that idea, that metaphor, and the way that sometimes the most unexpected objects can paint the truest picture of something that has nothing to do with the object at all. And so this song was kind of born from that. So shout out to Toni Morrison.
Yeah.
This is called Mine. I think my face looks better with the lights off. I think my hair looks better when it's down. I think my troubled mind feels better when there's chaos left to weather. Your stubborn stare's not here to freak me out. I like the sunset better than the sunrise. Somehow 2 a.m. is much kinder than noon. I think I like this empty space and all the silence that it's made. I think I like that I can't feel you in this room. And I'm not saying I don't get lonely, and I'm not saying it's not hard to sleep at night, but my pretty paper heart, it got used to the dark inside the tiny silver tin. I've always kept it in. And it might not seem like much to you, but it's still mine. It's still mine. I think I like you better when you're not here. I think your love hurts less from far away. I think I almost like your eyes when they're not skating down my spine. I like your lips when they're not begging me to stay. And I'm not saying I don't get lonely, and I'm not saying it's not hard to sleep at night, but my pretty paper heart, it got used to the dark inside the tiny silver tin. I've always kept it in, and it might not seem like much to you, but it's still mine. it's still mine. Well, don't run so fast, don't fall behind, don't seek me out, I'm hard to find. Don't kiss me, let our lips collide. Don't come inside. I think you've gotten used to coming over. I think your stuff looks better in my way. And my bed gets cold sometimes, so I guess you can take a sigh. But don't think this means I'm ever gonna change. I might just rearrange. And I'm not saying we won't get lonely, and you're not promising we'll always sleep at night. And my pretty paper heart might still favor the dark, but it's your tiny silver tin I'm gonna place it in. I've just got one request of you, to let me still be mine. I might seem cold, but I'll always stay true if you let me still be mine. Thanks.
So when you wrote that song, did you write it on guitar or did you write it on piano?
I love that you asked me that. I wrote it on guitar and then I played it on piano and then I played it on guitar and I just went back and forth for a really long time. And I that was one of the songs, I think I wrote 12 choruses to that song and scrapped them all before coming up with what I had. Because sometimes they come out easily, you know? And sometimes
Work for them, yeah.
sometimes you're like, well, the story is right, but the hook is all wrong. And I, you know, I'm a super theory nerd. My background in music is in composition. And the whole song is half cadences, right? And plagal cadences. And you don't get a perfect authentic cadence until the end of it, because that's when they've kind of found each other and it's all satisfying. And then in the middle, before the bridge, you get a deceptive cadence, like you think it's going to be done, but you know, but it's not quite done. And I think that that's something that I love as a songwriter, is being able to play with the music theory, being able
So
to use the language of music itself to kind of illustrate what you're talking about.
yeah, creates prosody between the music and the lyric. Yeah.
Exactly. And then it's just a little extra something. Like, I recognize that not everybody who listens to music is going to be a super theory nerd. And you don't have to. If you just want to be a passive listener, that is awesome. A-okay. But that way, you know, if there's somebody who's listening who is a super theory nerd, there's just something in there for them.
You know, songwriters do things like that anyway, even without knowing what they're doing.
Yes.
Because we've listened to music all of our lives and we've heard those things and they've touched us in the songs that and our mentors have written, you know, and stuff. And so we've emulated that. And so we do it anyway without knowing what we're doing, you know.
Yeah, there's so much that we pick up just by osmosis.
But being able to analyze what we're doing helps a lot, because then if something doesn't quite sound right, then you kind of know where to go to fix it.
Yeah. Do you feel like that's true in your own songwriting? Do you feel like you think about the theory aspects of it when you're like, something isn't working?
Yeah, if it's not working, you definitely go to the theory and talk about or think about the relationships of the chords and, you know, where it wants to take you, you know. So yeah, it's that, you know, you've got these tools. I call them tools in songwriting. Not really rules, but they're tools that when you need to use them, you've got a bag of tools and you can pull it out and use it, you know. And theory is one of them. I think every songwriter should have some theory, but not all of them do, and they still write great.
Yeah.
So did you get your undergraduate degree at TCU? Where?
I actually got my master's at TCU. I got my
Oh, okay.
undergrad degree at a little college in California called Scripps College. It's one of the Claremont Consortium.
Oh, where are you from?
I'm from here, right here in Dallas.
Are you? You grew, okay, so what high school did you go to?
Highland Park.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
So that's my neighborhood. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Is that where you went? Or did you grow up here?
no, I didn't. I grew up in Dallas, but I didn't go to Highland Park. I live in Highland Park and University Park now, but
Oh, neat.
I grew up in Southeast Dallas.
Okay.
Samuel, I went to Samuel.
Oh, yeah.
Alexis Tapp went to Samuel. My
Oh,
husband that is passed away, he went to Samuel. Uh, England Dan and John Ford Coley, they went to Samuel. So a lot of us music people.
you guys have quite a distinguished set of alumni.
Yeah. You've got a famous golfer from Highland Park right now.
Yeah, we do. And Matthew Stafford,
Yeah.
famous football player.
Eh,
I was not athletic in any way, shape, or form, so
mhm.
but I did
Well,
watching all those rock stars.
so where did your musical abilities come from? I read that your parents were a CPA and a tax attorney. Did they sing in church or how did that happen?
My mom played the flute in band when she was growing up, and
Oh, there you
both of my
go.
parents have love of music as listeners.
Hmm.
Um, but I think I was a mathlete in middle school, and I went through the advanced math track, which is how I met so many of my amazing friends. Um, and I love math the way some people love the crossword puzzle
Hmm.
on a Sunday morning, you know? It's nice to sit down and do something that has very concrete answers that you can figure out. But I didn't want to do it for a job. And so we had this beautiful moment when I was looking at colleges, um, where my parents were like, and of course you're going to major in business. And I was like, actually, I think I'm going to major in music. And you could like hear the awkward silence creep in. That's
Oh
all of their
no, we're
dreams
gonna
for
have to
their math
support her for
inclined
the rest
daughter.
of her life.
Exactly. Just fell apart. Um, I know, I know. I, but I think I love the raw emotion of music. And I have always loved how no matter what the bigness of your feeling is, it fits into a song. You know, I tell my students all the time when we're talking about belting or singing or playing that you can't throw tantrums as an adult. Like, if you're 2 or 3 and your feelings are just too big for you, you can go into the center aisle of the grocery store and you can open your mouth and just let out a sob, you know, and just pound on the floor and scream and cry. You have that option as a kid, but you don't really have that option as an adult. And I think the older we get, the fewer our avenues for expressing emotion, but music is always safe. It's always a space for that. And I think music is one of the only places where no matter how you perceive what you're feeling, it sounds beautiful
Mhm.
when you put it in a song.
It's safe to put it in a song.
Yeah, it doesn't
I
hurt
mean, your
anybody.
feelings, you can talk, about something that you might not normally talk about, but you can put it in a song. That's
Yeah, and
what's
I
great about
remember,
music.
yes, exactly. And
Mhm.
are you a Sarah McLachlan fan? Do you know Sarah
Oh
McLachlan's
yeah,
music?
sure. Uh-huh.
So when Lilith Fair was big in
Uh-huh.
the 90s, I remember, you know, being allowed to buy CDs and begging my parents to drive me to the record store because back then there was a record store. And, you know, like at a Warehouse Music,
Mhm.
they had all these headphones hanging on the walls. And I remember listening to, you know, Sheryl Crow and Sarah McLachlan and Lisa Loeb, who's also from Dallas,
Yeah.
and all of these beautiful women, Jewel, who were just saying things and singing things and putting together chords that said how I was feeling better than I could. And I just felt so seen by those women. And I was like, I want to do this for people.
Mhm.
And that, for better or worse, no matter how many math classes I took, that never left. Um, and I think, yeah, I think that's a thing that stays with you. you know, the people who change your life, whether they know it or not, influence you in a really big way. So I don't know where it all came from, but I know that that's what made me continue to love it.
Well, we've been through about 3 of my questions there here. So why don't you give me a couple more songs to back? How's that? I know the people out there who are listening are dying to hear some more of your music. So
Oh, thanks. Sure. Yeah, actually, if it's all right, I'll go ahead and play you one more on the guitar. I'll play you a new one. I think one of the things I appreciate most about songwriting is that you can't lie as a songwriter. Barb, do you have that experience? Where you put pen to paper and you're like, oh, this is the truth.
well, I know that I take other people's experience and write about it. I've been known to do that before because in a song in my musical, I had one of my girlfriends come up and say, "I can't believe you wrote that about me," you know. So
I mean, fair warning, right? Anybody
Uh-huh.
who knows an artist, your
That's
life
right.
becomes fodder for art.
That's right.
Um, Although I remember being, I think I was in high school, and I had a friend who had a crush on a guy that was not, I didn't feel was right for her. So I wrote her a song about why she shouldn't date him. So sometimes songs can be helpful
Yeah.
and instructive.
Yeah.
But
she
I
wouldn't
wrote,
listen to you anyway if you just told her, but she
exactly.
might pay attention if it's in a song.
Well, and this is the thing about a song, right? Is if we do our job as songwriters, we write a hook that stays with you whether you want it to or not.
That's right.
And it's like,
An
exactly.
earworm, yeah.
Exactly. And I was like, maybe every time she sees the guy, she's going to hear this song in her head. No, I wrote this song kind of in a frightened way, almost. I knew I wanted to write something, and I sat down and I was in a situation that I was struggling to navigate, and I wasn't sure if this thing that I was chasing was really meant for me or not. And I sat down and I wrote this song, and this was the height of the pandemic, so I was on a Zoom call with my college suite mates, and I was like, I wrote this song and I think it's terrible. But I figured I'd play it for you guys while we're sharing what's going on in our lives, and so I did, and it was really quiet when I got done, which is the mark of playing on Zoom. I say you finished, it's very quiet.
That's right.
Teaches you humility as a songwriter, for sure. And then my suite mates were like, well, first of all, you have to release that song. And secondly, I think you know what to do about the situation now. And that was true. So sometimes songs tell you the truth. And this is one that told me the truth. So if you're struggling, I hope this gives you some clarity. I want to be the kind of girl who says it doesn't matter. I want to be the kind of girl who believes that is true. 'Cause I look at the kinds of girls who aren't opinionated, and I know they'd be happier with you. I want to be the kind of girl who watches church on Sunday. I want to be the kind of girl who sees Jesus through a screen. Instead, I am the kind of girl who kneels in empty parking lots at midnight. 'Cause I feel God, oh, I feel God in everything. And maybe I could be fearless if somehow I could learn to care satisfied with silence. And I know they'd never make you open up. And maybe I could be fearless if somehow if somehow I could learn to care less, and maybe I could love you. You know that I want to love you. Maybe I could be fearless if somehow I could learn to care less, and maybe I could love you, but you're not my kind. And there you go. Thank you.
All right, go ahead and give us another one.
All right. Do you mind if I take you to the piano for this one?
Let's
Is that all right?
do that. Yeah.
Excellent. I'll take you. Actually, maybe I'll play you. I tell you what, Barb. Maybe I'll play you a brand new one if that's all right.
That'd be great.
Then we can go to the piano.
Did you play this at Wildflower?
I did not play this
Okay.
at Wildflower.
Is this the premiere of the brand new song?
Yeah, if that's all right.
Oh, yay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, it's wonderful.
I think it's, yeah. I think it's interesting, right? Because I think everyone thinks every song is a love letter. And I think that's true to an extent. I think every song has something to do with love. But there are lots of different kinds of love. And this song is about watching someone you love struggle with something really difficult. There's a million things I want to say to you. I miss you even when I'm next to you. I miss your eyes and how they see through me. Once upon a time, you were the only one who knew me well. I go over everything I've done with you. Ask, was it something that was done to you? Was it something someone never did? Was it my fault, or is that too myopic? Was it this town, or was it just the season? I guess deep down we all just need a reason. Still see you in each corner of our home. I've never really spent a night alone. You're laughing on the couch, then on the stairs in caustic. You're on the floor, passed out and unresponsive. You chase oblivion and I chase you. Neither of us knows what we're running to. I try to hope instead of running faster. I never thought that I had all the answers. What is it for, and has it gotten harder to push through pain when we could just be martyrs? And they say we're all dying, all headed toward goodbye, and the only difference between us is time. Well, I guess I never bought it. I thought I could outsmart it, that immortality is a state of mind. So I wrestle what you're numbing, you hit the brakes, I gun it. Maybe neither of us learned how to drive, and we both think we're outliving the problems we've been given, but all the grief just multiplies inside. And this time I don't know if you're coming back. I guess I don't know what to do with that. I held your hand, running through the fire. I guess I thought we'd both be survivors. I still dial your number on the telephone. Guess I just don't know how to be alone.
Wow.
Thanks. There's my sad little song.
Well, why are you so sad? You just got married.
I did. No, but I mean, I think that that's, I had a really interesting experience, and maybe you can speak to this too, but I had a really interesting experience when I started playing, because like when I started playing out in front of people, because initially my goal was to just write songs for other people, but I was going to an open mic with a friend, and he kept saying, you need to play, you need to play, you need to play. And it was hosted by Mr. Troll, if you remember Mr. Troll.
Yeah.
And I was terrified of Mr. Troll because he had
Bless
such.
his heart.
I
He's
know.
up in
He had.
heaven looking down on us,
He's
you
a
know.
wonderful, wonderful human.
Yeah.
Or was a wonderful, wonderful human, and a hilarious songwriter, and a beautiful person. And just, I mean, his song Dreams just guts me. So if people haven't heard it, you need to go listen to Dreams by Mr. Troll. But
Ramon Mallow.
yes, Ramon
Yes.
Mallow.
Mhm.
But he was hosting this open mic at Opening Bell, and my friend kept telling me every time we went, he was like, you have to play, you have to play, you have to play. So finally one day I waited until the absolute last minute, and I jumped on the bill. And there were 3 people in the room. There was my friend Steve Jackson and Ramon Mallow, and I played a song that I had never intended to play for anybody, because it was the only song I had memorized, because I hadn't intended to get up there. And Steve Jackson came up to me the next time I came to open mic and remembered my song. And what I noticed is that in playing the song that felt too vulnerable to me to play, every time I played it, somebody would come up and share their story with me. And it just felt like I had created, in letting myself be messy and vulnerable, and in sharing something that I didn't like, and a feeling that I didn't like, I had created a space for other people to be themselves and to be honest about the things they were going through. And that was just, I love that moment. That's my favorite thing about any show, is afterwards when people come up and tell you about themselves because they heard something of themselves in your song.
Yeah, our imperfections allow people to open up because they feel like that, you know, their imperfections are okay if somebody else has them too, you know. Yeah.
Or at least, like they're not alone in the
Mhm.
world. And I think that sensation of realizing that you're not alone, of being the one to get up there and be messy first, that is our lot in life sometimes as performing songwriters, is to get up and be messy. And so I've learned that sometimes it's the songs that I least want to play that mean the most to other people. So that's a special thing to learn, because I think the message in that for people who are listening who are songwriters is, go be messy, be vulnerable, and share that part even if you're scared, because somebody else is going to see themselves in it and be grateful for that experience. And go ahead.
That's good that Steve Jackson, came up to you again and encouraged you by remembering your song.
I mean,
you know.
he's an incredible songwriter. So
Mhm.
anybody who gets any kudos from Steve, what a compliment, because he's such
Yeah.
a master craftsman.
He was, of course, you know this, he was one of the 12 finalists at the Wildflower. Yeah.
I've
And
been telling him to submit for years. I was so glad he did.
yeah, he
He's
did, and
brilliant.
he deserved it. You know, he was a winner of the DSA song contest about
He
three
was.
years ago or 4 years ago. Is one of the grand prize winners.
Yeah.
So he's a great singer too, and he's worried now about he's now just now getting his singing abilities back. He doesn't quite have the stamina that, but he's still got to work into it now to get
Yeah.
his stamina back. But it's back. His voice is back, and so that's good. We
Yeah.
love Steve.
I was
Yeah,
like, the world needs more of Steve Jackson's music for sure.
that's you're right. And Emmeline's too. We need more of Emmeline's music
Thank you.
right now. What's your next song?
All right. I'll take you to the piano if that's all right and play you something.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. I'll move you on over. I've got all these instruments here, Barb. But thanks for having me. And I was going to say to my friends who aren't songwriters, who are kind enough to watch this just because you love music, we're grateful for you, especially. But also know that sometimes the messy parts of you are the parts that people most want to see and have with them. Is this too loud? How are you guys doing?
No, it sounds fine.
Okay. Goodness gracious. As you can see, we have a tough crowd over here.
Yeah, that's right. Got a chorus in the background.
Yeah, right? Actually, yeah. So here's, the song is called Superheroes. I've sung a lot of love songs, so I'll tell you, this one isn't about that at all. It's about, and Barb, I know that you're a teacher, that you teach songwriting, actually. So I feel like Barb is another one of those people that when Barb gives you a compliment about a song, you take that to heart and like hold that and treasure it and cherish it because it means a lot. But I think sometimes as a teacher, I always ask myself if I'm doing enough, if there's more that I could be doing. You know, you see a lot of things in the world that you want to be different. And you ask yourself if one person can really make a difference. And so I wrote this song about how sometimes it's the little things that matter the most. This is called Superheroes. Well, I've been a weed among the roses, one speck of dust among the stars. We've got ourselves a hotel room down at rock bottom, but I think we dilate in the dark. See, weeds are known for their resilience, and rocks are built to scale down here. So we'll just climb until we're shining like diamonds, too high to fall, too bright to fear. We're gonna be superheroes. We can't do it all, but we'll start off small. We're gonna be superheroes, fly into the fray, make it out okay. We're gonna save the day, so let the villains make the headlines. Let less immortals win the race. There's more to run for than that medal on your chest, and there's more to victory than fame. We're gonna be superheroes. We can't do it all, but we'll start off small. We're gonna be superheroes, fly into the fray, make it out okay. We're gonna save the day. And when the crowds have gone away and no one's shouting out your name, you'll see the lines in every face you've helped to save. heart sets the world ablaze. We're gonna be superheroes. We can't do it all. We'll start off small. We're gonna be superheroes. Fly into the fray. Make it out okay. We're gonna be superheroes. We can't do it all. But we'll start off small. We're gonna be superheroes. Fly into the fray. Make it out okay. We're gonna save the day. Oh, we're gonna save the There you go.
Well, now I guess I can add whistling to the list of your talents. That's good chorus. That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Good chorus. So, I'm just curious to know about your schedule.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
mean, you have a crazy schedule, and I know that
do.
you're teaching college some, and then you're teaching
Yeah.
individual lessons. So tell us a little bit about that, what you're doing.
I feel very blessed to stay busy. As we talked about, I grew up with a tax attorney and a CPA, both of whom decided that I was probably going to live in a box if I majored in music. So I think that has always been something that's been on my mind, is making sure that I can feed myself and pay my bills. And I think as a creative person, I've been blessed to have a lot of opportunities, and I know that opportunities don't come along every day for creative people. So I try to say yes when I can, and that has turned into being able to teach. I have 35 private students.
Wow, that's a big
Yeah,
schedule.
it is. And then I teach writing at SMU and have taught at Dallas College, and um, and then I work for an organization called Dallas Music Network.
Mhm.
And then I volunteer with the Dallas Songwriters Association, and I get to produce a show for Deep Ellum Radio.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think I really believe in the arts. And I really believe in the importance of sharing your art. And I think part of it for me is being grateful for the opportunities I've been given as an artist, and then making sure that I can create opportunities for other artists to keep performing, to keep sharing. Dallas Songwriters Association was kind enough to have two of my students sing at their Hall of Fame awards. And I don't know, passing on the gift of self-expression is a really valuable and beautiful thing.
Mm.
So I try to make time for it.
So are you teaching any summer classes at SMU?
I am not.
So are you scheduled again for the fall?
I am, but I'm
Mhm.
not teaching over the summer.
That's good. We need a breather in the summer, don't we?
I was going to say, do you teach summer school?
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think part of having the schedule we have during the school year involves slowing
Yeah.
it down in the summer.
So the
And
writing course that you teach, is it creative writing or?
we have creative elements in it. It's freshman composition.
Okay.
But what I try to impress upon the students, because I'm not under the illusion that they're all going to grow up to be English majors, what I try to tell them is that you're going to have so many opportunities in your life to write. And you want to be able to communicate effectively no matter where you go and what you do. And I think writing is ultimately a way of expressing ourselves. The nice thing about songwriting is we just get to use two languages at once to do it. And so that's a lot of what we talk about. They keep a journal. They have a creative writing opportunity. They have some creative essays that they put together. And I think that balance of academic writing and creative writing allows them to have a greater appreciation for just writing in general,
Yeah.
as opposed to being like, oh, this is something I have to do for school,
Right.
you know.
Well,
But you
let's see
get
if
to
we,
teach songwriting, right?
yeah, that's right. Songwriting. I cram in about 4 semesters of songwriting into one. So
I don't know how you do it, but
it's,
all of that is creative.
yeah, it is. It's fun and I love it. So now we need to cram in a few more songs
All right, let's
because,
do it.
all right. So what's our next song?
Sure. So what I'm not teaching, I have a lovely rescue dog named Chloe, who recently had her 13th adoptiversary. And this is a song that I wrote. I got done with this once, and a guy at a show said, "Oh, your boyfriend's a lucky guy," and I was like, "Dog," and he was like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "I wrote this for my dog." So here's a love song for my dog. Heart of steel and ribs of stone, I can make it on my own. I've walked gravel roads, these tender souls can brave the path ahead. But then there's you in my head. Paper lips and crystallized, you're the only thing I've tried. Makes me feel like I am dying to survive. I've never been more alive. Tough as nails, yet I'm feather soft in your arms. Dedicated to the sense this moment will not come again. Heart is rocky, yet I'm feather soft in your arms. Time's an hourglass turned over, and we're growing older. You and I were beautifully fragile. Tiny fists and stabberways, like clad resolve for days. I'm a soldier, I'm blown over by the grace in your smile. You turn my water to wine. You break me open and I'm tough as nails, yet I'm dedicated in your arms. Dedicated to the sense this moment will not come again. Heart is rocky, yet I'm feather soft in your arms. Time's an hourglass turned over, and we're growing older. You and I were beautifully fragile. Dedicated, captivating, excruciating. I see your face and I'm elated. You're the only one I know who feels like home. 'Cause your head on my chest and love. Forever's not long enough. I wanna freeze this frame. My every word's your name. I'll never be the same. Tough as nails, yet I'm delicate in your arms. Time's an hourglass turned over, and we're growing older. You and I. Oh, you and I were beautifully fragile. There you go. Thanks.
How old is Chloe?
Chloe is 14.
Oh,
I had, you know how it is, girls and their dogs. But no, I have, especially during the pandemic, I think I had like a crisis every day where I realized she wasn't going to live forever.
mm,
But she continues to be just as feisty as the day I got her. So we're
that's
very
right.
grateful. We're very grateful for whatever miracle has allowed her to be there this long and continues to allow her to be here.
Well, I'm trying to squeeze 8 songs into
All right.
this hour. So can you do another couple of songs back to back real quick?
Sure. Yeah, I would love to squeeze some in for you. Let's do it. There's Chloe.
There she is.
I'll actually do you guys just a whole medley in D, if that's all right.
Great.
This song is about choosing the people you love and sticking around. And what happens when there isn't a breakup. More water under the bridge means we've got more to lose. But I'm at no loss for illusion when it comes to you. I'll talk myself into and out of anything. One minute we work without reason, the next I just need one reason to stay. So take a deep breath, close your eyes, hold my hand and remember when this was the feeling that got you through the night. Turn down the bed, sleep tonight. Let the world fade to whispers. We're drifting through dreams in which everything's alright. I'm still on your side. The click of the lock, the swing of the door, the creak of your foot on the step where it's worn, and all of the cracks that we used to know peer out from the dust that's collected like snow. This wood could splinter, this house could fall, but there's something we're saving inside these walls. So let it all fall down around us. We'll feel it better this time. We'll build it better this time. Let it all fall down around us. We'll build it better this time. We'll build it better this time. 'Cause there's a corner to turn on this dead end street. There's a curve to throw in this final scene. Don't let the credits roll. Don't let a lion dog sleep. Open the door, come home to me. There's a corner to turn on this dead end street. There's a curve to throw in this final scene. Don't let the credits roll. Don't let a lion dog sleep. Just open the door and come home to me. Come home to me. Cause sometimes it's like fireworks on the 4th of July. Sometimes it's one candle to find the night. But even when I'm scared we're burning out, I'd still choose you every time. So take a deep breath and close your eyes. Hold my hand and remember when this was the feeling that got you through the night. So turn down the bed, sleep tonight. Let the world fade to whispers. We're drifting through dreams in which everything's alright. I'm still on your side. 3 in 1, Barb.
That was great.
Thank you
Well,
so much for having me.
well, thank you so much, Emmeline, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to share your songs with us.
My
And
pleasure.
thanks to,
There's always time for art.
absolutely. And thanks to our director, Harry Hewlett, back there. So, and thanks to all of you folks who are tuning in to Dallas Songwriter Spotlight. You've been listening to our guest songwriter extraordinaire, Emmeline Miles. I'm Barbe McMillen. Good night, all from Dallas, Texas.